My ex chose his friends over me. Now he wants to come back.
Too little, too late.
I, 21 female, was dating James, 23 male, fake name, for 3 years ago. I want to start by saying I'm shy and a super quiet person to be with. Even with him, I always had a hard time to talk and speak about my days or whatever was happening in my life without getting nervous speaking about it. James, on the other hand, is a social butterfly. He's talkative, has a large group of friends, and can even make conversations in seconds with people that he knows on the streets. By the way, this comes from MTTier2534, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And OP says, long story short, he will usually drag me to his friends' parties or social hangouts so I could be friends with his friends, but it never worked out. Most of his friends will not let me speak or talk without getting bored, so they would just move me to the side. I had brought this up to James, but he brushed it off as they're just not patient like that, or they don't mean to be rude, but I personally don't like that. So I'm not like a toxic girlfriend or anything. I never looked at his phone to check if he's cheating or anything, but I was so insecure how a lot of his girlfriends will hit on him in front of me without any reason whatsoever.
Rude.
Yeah, that's you don't have to be an insecure, crazy girlfriend to be upset about that. But I digress. The day of our breakup happened on a party with his friends, and again, I tried my best to socialize with his friends, but there was no use. What happened is that I told James that I was going to go get some more snacks for the party, and that's when, out of nowhere, he just snapped at me saying, "See, you're just finding an excuse to leave the party. That's why my friends don't like you."
That's not nice.
In front of all the friends,
That's
too.
not nice. Yeah.
Girl.
That's mean. You guys just are not right for each other.
I'm glad that you guys broke up that day.
Yeah.
I was speechless, so I told him that I wasn't leaving. I was just getting snacks. And that's when he dropped the bomb and said that he's done with me and to never contact him again.
Dang.
Loud and clear for the entire room of people to hear.
Okay, that's not okay.
And then his friends started cheering like they just punted out a rude friend or something. Oh my gosh.
That's not okay. That's just super immature.
That's so messed up, dude.
I don't think that you guys are right for each other, and I think it's good that you broke up, but also that's totally not the way to break up. A breakup should be like, let's do this in private, respectfully.
Right. Because then the fact that all the friends were cheering means that they were absolutely crap talking her behind his back. And the boyfriend was 100% involved in that crap talking. So, yikes, dude. I wanted to cry so bad. So I left, and good thing I had my car with me because on the way back home, I bawled my eyes out like I've never cried in my life. I blocked him everywhere and his friends. I felt so humiliated by the fact that he didn't even decide to have a decent conversation alone without anyone hearing us speak. Or I don't know, I just felt horrible about how his friends started cheering him for breaking up with me like that. But fast forward to today. This is like 3 years later now.
Dang.
I had already moved on and was doing great when I got a long text message from a random number that had the same area code from my town. It was James.
Da, da, da.
He started the message with how he's been doing in his life and yada, yada, yada. Then he said that he had been in 3 relationships after our breakup.
Okay.
And he said that he didn't feel the same when he was with me. All the girls that he dated either cheated on him or were too toxic, and so he reached out to see if we can start again and give him another chance to be together.
Wild.
That is
I'd say,
so crazy.
maybe you should go ask your friends.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys are not right for each other. You're not right for each other.
Not at all. I was stunned. This man, after he humiliated me in front of his so-called friends, wanted a second chance because I was the only girl who didn't complain about his life and whatnot. I was angry. I told him that I don't think it was a good idea to try a relationship again because we were not even compatible to begin with. And that I was sorry. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that I was sorry for all the relationships that he had through the years that didn't work as expected. But I just couldn't trust him, or I don't even think that I could fall in love with him again. This man didn't even apologize to begin with, so after I sent the message, I blocked the number and went on my day. Now I'm getting angry messages from his friends calling me the a-hole and a salute for not giving him a chance, and even to the point to bombard my phone with calls every single day. So Reddit's, am I the a-hole for refusing to give him a second chance? I just don't know what else to do. And of course we think, no, definitely not.
No, but definitely date people that you're more compatible with in the future.
Exactly. But we do have some comments. Commenter number 1 says, absolutely effing not. He sounds like a bellend. Think about how the future looks even if you did give him a second chance. You can't trust him. His friends sound like a-holes, and he doesn't understand you as a person whatsoever. He didn't even have the common decency to have a one-to-one conversation with you and totally embarrassed you at the party where you had nobody. He's been effed over since you broke up and realized which side he likes his bread buttered. Well, too late, sunshine. Tell him to swivel. Commenter number 2 says, send him screenshots of the text messages and let him know that this is one of the reasons why you will never get back with him. Additionally, let him know that if his friends continue with the pesterment, you will take legal action against them. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I feel like you could also just block them all.
Block them.
I feel like you don't need to bother.
Block them. Block every one of them.
Know. Because they don't care. If they think that rejecting someone makes you a sleut, then they're not going to get that text is why you don't want to be together.
Exactly.
So, yeah, don't bother. Commenter number 3 says, you're not the a-hole. He's using those same friends who made you feel humiliated and embarrassed to try to force you to give him a second chance. Stand your ground. You're more than in the right. You don't deserve to be treated like that. He sounds toxic and immature, using others to pressure you. You were nice about how you didn't want to give it a second try, and he should understand and respect that. Not use others to scare you. Yeah, he also was probably lying about who was abusive and who was toxic in those other relationships.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Big time.
But we do have an update. So, I decided to take your advice and screenshotted all the messages that James' friends had sent to me throughout the week about me being the a-hole. And afterwards, I unblocked James and sent all the screenshots to him. Okay, I mean, if you want to, you can.
Sure.
You won't believe it, but this man finally decided to believe me and apologized about his friend's behavior and how he didn't want this to go as far as it got. So I've told him that this is one of the many reasons why I can't give him another chance because of the behavior of his friends. They were unbelievable, and it just throws me off how I'm the youngest of the friend group who knows how to act like an adult. I also dropped the bomb on him that I'm seeing someone. Just talking stage, nothing serious just yet. But that they're taking their sweet time to know me as a person, and that's why I won't let him have another chance because I'm not going for old scraps. He apologized again and even also said that he just wanted to keep in contact with me because he thinks that he owes it to me for all the trouble that he caused.
See? I hate that mindset too. I hate the idea that you're doing your ex a favor by keeping in contact with them.
Right.
Leave them alone.
Exactly.
It's not like, I don't care if you feel guilty about how you treated OP. Leave her alone.
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry I caused you so much trouble. Let me never leave your side, and then it'll be fixed.
It's also just so, like, pompous and, like, condescending to be like, well, I better give her the joy of my presence because I hurt her, and she's probably still not over it 3 years later.
It's like, you don't
leave her alone.
Leave her alone. Because we know that it's nothing about OP. Like, he was sending those text messages just to brag about all the women he's
like,
dated.
I've dated 3 women, and none of them were like you.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't like that. So I don't know what he meant by that. By the time I wanted to finish the conversation, he told me that during our time together, he had cheated with one of his girlfriends. Yep. Oh, wait. During the time that we were together, he cheated. He cheated on OP with one of his girlfriends that were always hitting on him.
Oh, he really sucks.
Dude, this is so
I'd be like, after he told me that, I'd be like, okay, bye. Block.
Yeah, what?
Block.
So that also explains why he broke up with me that time, because he was sneaking around the stupid blonde sorority girl because she was better than me. Something like that. Saw it coming, not gonna lie, but for some reason it did hurt now, even though it's been a while. He said that he wanted some closure, and telling me this was the end of it.
That's the thing. It's selfish reasons.
Absolutely.
It's not because he's like cares about you or anything. It's because he feels bad and he needs to get it off his chest.
I don't even think that. Like, I mean, maybe, But I honestly think that he's just trying to do it to like brag and to kind of hurt OP in some sort of way. Like if he's feeling rejected and he's all like, oh my gosh, like,
oh, I cheated on you.
Yeah, he's like, well, yeah, like I just thought you should know just because I'm doing the right thing that you should know that I like did this to hurt you even more. Because of course, even though it's been 3 years, that crap still hurts.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's so messed up for him. But you know what would never be messed up is if you guys went to find full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
But there is a little bit more to this story.
Whew.
I blocked him again. LOL.
Good.
And now my phone is finally back to being silent since I stopped getting calls and messages. Even his mom texted me saying sorry for his son's behavior. So that's that. I want to appreciate those who convinced me not to give him another chance.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a people pleaser and I just couldn't handle the stress that I was in the wrong. Thank you, all of you. There are some final comments. Commenter number 1 says, good for you. You stood up for yourself and let him know that he is basically... He was right. He will never find anyone as wonderful as you. Sucks to be him. Another commenter says he apologized again and even also said that he just wanted to keep in contact with you because he thinks he owes it to you for all the trouble you caused. Another commenter responds to OP saying he apologized again and even also said that he just wants to keep in contact with me because he thinks he owes it to me for all the trouble he caused. The commenter says, pretty sure that what he means is that he figures he'll be able to get in your pants later. And OP says, honestly, that's what I'm thinking, but as of right now, he's blocked everywhere, so now hopefully I don't find him in the streets.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
My dream.
Absolutely. Like, definitely that's what he meant by that. He's trying to seem like a good person by doing this and that, but it's not. He's like, he's reaching so hard for reasons to like be a good person. Like he knows he's just messed
he's
up.
A bad person,
but he also knows that he's not going to change that. So
exactly, still it's the same friends.
Good riddance, dude. But that's the end of that story.
I resent my boyfriend because he lives the life I dream of.
Jealousy is a plague to us all.
I, 23 female, have been with my boyfriend, 27 male, for the past year. He moved in with me early into our relationship because he was losing the place he was staying at. It was temporary from the beginning. He just didn't plan anything. That doesn't sound good. And I offered him a place to stay. He moved several states away to move in, only really giving up his job, as he wasn't close with his family. By the way, this comes from user StarOK7528, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, OP says, I accepted in the beginning that he wasn't going to be working. You stayed in everything. So I told him I was fine covering bills since I earned good money. Nothing significant. I've been a blue-collar worker for 3 years now, so it's enough to pay the bills. I used to earn enough to set back fun funds to spend doing various things like tattoos, expensive food, bulk crafting stuff, fun cons, and etc. OP sounds fun.
I've just saved all this money to con people.
Yeah, I'm like, who are you conning? But they do fun stuff.
Right. Conventions.
Yes. I bought him a car when he moved so he would have transportation to and from work and told him this car was a beater, so it wasn't a brand new car. I got it for cheap and it wouldn't last forever. I admit it was a crappy car. Like, I wouldn't even drive it, but at the same time, he got it for completely free, and I had to pay out of my savings. I don't mind my job. It's not something I have dreamed about like other people and their careers, but it is something that I had to pick up because my dad made me feel unwelcome in his house to the point that I just left. This kind of work helped me find an escape, a way I could pay for my own things and living space, so I just ran with it. I've mentioned wanting to go back to college numerous times over the past few years so I can get a degree in something I'll find intriguing. It is possible for me to work part-time and still attend college. My dad has offered to help with rent, but without my boyfriend working, it won't ever be a possibility as groceries and other bills completely drain my paychecks I get now working 40 plus hours a week. Working in the industry I do has made me realize I can use my intelligence in an area that has more meaning to it than what I do. At the end of the day, it's what keeps a roof over my head and food in my cat's belly. So I can't complain. That's fair. you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, sometimes we don't love the jobs that we have, but
Right.
as long as it pays the bills and keeps
Provides.
you afloat, yeah. The issue is with my boyfriend's employment. From what I know from before he moved, he had a warehouse job earning a couple less per hour than me. I didn't know how long he had been there and assumed it had been a little bit. I kind of expected him to find the same kind of work here, but he didn't. He has not been able to stay anywhere for longer than 2 months, and that's being generous. Not to mention, he's only worked at 4 different places in the past year, all of which he either quit randomly or he got fired. At some point, yeah, I'm sorry, like that's red flag after red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like being in a relationship with someone, especially when you're moving in together, finances are very important to make sure that your other person has like a good handle of their finances or are open to you helping them with figuring out their finances. Like that's something you need.
A decent head on their shoulders, but
Yeah.
it looks like it's getting to the point where you're just paying for him.
Yeah, and he seems pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah. At some point, he started calling out a lot when he did have a job, and it was like pulling teeth to get him to go, causing him to be late, which I'm assuming contributed to his release or getting fired. His reasoning for quitting? He didn't like the jobs he had.
Oh my gosh.
At that point, I'd be like, "Shut up! Either you keep working and you pay someone at least a percentage here,
Right.
or you're back out."
Yeah, like I get not liking your job and wanting to find a new one, but you have to have something going at some time. You know what I mean? Like you can't just take breaks in between jobs
Yeah.
because you like, I just didn't vibe with it.
This isn't a free ticket, a free ride, my guy.
Right.
In my personal opinion, it doesn't matter if you don't like the job. You have bills to pay, mouths to feed, so you earn what you can so you can get stuff done. Bingo, like we said.
Exactly.
A few months ago, when he was in between jobs, I came home from work one morning. It was a night shift, and couldn't handle the weight of everything anymore, and I broke down crying. It was quiet, but he was already awake. He stayed up all night and comforted me, asking what was wrong. Babe, what's wrong? You're working so hard. Maybe you should relax.
God, maybe you should like quit your job if you don't like it.
Yeah. I told him that I always dreamed of being a stay-at-home mom, even if that meant I had to have a job when the children didn't need me. I know it's unrealistic and traditional, but cooking, cleaning, childcare sounds a lot more fulfilling than a job could ever be. My stepdad passed away a few years ago, and I got a taste of that when I stepped up and took care of my younger siblings. And no, that's what I want for my future. I told him that he had not even attempted to take my place as the breadwinner, and I was really upset that it felt like I wasn't going to have a future, the one that I want for myself and my future kids. He seemed to understand and reassured me about the different jobs he had been applying to. For the majority of the time, my boyfriend stays home and does nothing but play video games. He used to stay up all night, claiming it was to see me when I get home, but that's slowly started to turn him into falling asleep right before I get home. We have divided up house chores to a small degree. He takes the trash out and washes the dishes. I take care of the laundry, yard work, general cleaning, and cooking. There have been times where I had to wash dishes just to cook dinner, and there have also been times that I gave up on cooking because, guess what? The dishes were dirty.
He didn't do his job.
Wow, sounds like you don't have a boyfriend. Sounds like you have a teenager.
It really does sound like it.
I also have to choose when I want to clean based on how full the trash can is, as it is overflowing, full 90% of the time. I just assume he does the same thing as me and stops picking up after the trash can gets full. My more intense emotional turmoil has happened more recently. A week or two ago, he talked about how he didn't like the job he had and was applying to different places. I got nervous and told him I'm glad he found options, but I would rather if he kept working until he got accepted somewhere else. A few days after he said that, he called me as I was about to sleep for work and said they had let him go. And he didn't state a reason. This honestly made me lose all hope in him having a stable job. He got a call back a few days ago and said he had been accepted into the stay-at-home job where he wouldn't really have to do much. I see where this is going. He's earning the same amount as he was before, so it's not a big money thing, but he has to wait a whole month before he gets his first paycheck. He told me the first thing he was going to do is buy a car. No surprise, the one I bought him crapped the bed 2 months ago, and he's been driving my dad's car and a gaming PC. Then he would help me with rent. I would put my foot down and be like, no, 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 no. Stable first. You can buy your things later.
Yeah, absolutely. When he's not even paying rent, like, yeah, definitely wait till you get your fun things because, like, that's just logic.
Your priorities are way out of line, my guy.
Yeah.
Him saying that kind of shattered my heart because I've been expressing that I want a new PC. Since the one I'm using now, I've had since I was 13, maybe even younger. I've talked to him since he moved out here that I wanted to save up for a PC, but I haven't been able to since I haven't been able to put anything into savings since he moved in. I lived in a house without internet connection and a lot of other basic stuff for the first 2 years of living by myself, making do with what I had because I would rather not have internet than not have a home. I didn't see a need for a better PC when I couldn't even play games I had for it. My boyfriend lived with me in that house for a few months before convincing me to take a good deal on rent for a small house, saying he would help keep up with bills, which has happened maybe twice. Since we moved in, I relearned my love for video games on my PC, and I'm sad that a lot of the stuff I used to play, I can't anymore because my hardware is outdated. I don't know if being upset is justified or if I'm just being a jealous witch. But I cried myself to sleep last night because I come home every day to a dirty house, spend time cleaning, cooking my own food, just to go to sleep while he stays up all night. Guess what? Playing video games until he passes out. He's constantly in a call with people, even if they're sleeping. I've seen the video chats. That's insane. Who is he talking to then? I would feel somewhat proud of him for finding a stay-at-home job if I didn't express to him multiple times that I want someone who's willing to step up and take care of me financially, instead of me being the financial cushion. So, am I the a-hole for being upset that I financially paved this road for my boyfriend and he still refuses to step up or do anything? I mean, he's still working, but if he continues working at this specific job, I think I'm going to start being mean. I just honestly don't know where to go from here. He doesn't really have anywhere to go if I tell him to leave. But I'm so sad that I haven't been able to do much with my own money because it's being spent on groceries. And I'm going to tell you what to do with your own time. You can join us every single weekday by going to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and searching OK Storytime. Right now, I think we're at 71 days.
Oh, yeah. I feel like every week it just gets like one additional
It's
day.
one additional day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're at 71 days. So
And
spend your time
counting.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit left of this story.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Because, okay, it's one thing, like if you start dating someone and you want to be the person that like pays for everything and you want to like spoil your partner or whatever, and you spend all your money on them, if you choose to do that, then that's cool. You know what I mean? That's like really nice of you to do. You don't have to do that, despite what some traditions say, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's definitely crossed that point, and OP knows that. It's like, yeah, you're spending all of the money on groceries. Like, yes, he's working now, but that you are too. Like, it doesn't mean that his financial contributions, which aren't that much,
Nope.
that's like not even close to like to fixing the problem.
Listen, OP, like at this point, you're making him happier than you're making yourself happier.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, what's the point? Seriously.
Yeah.
You're not enjoying your life, and you're young. You are young. You should be enjoying, like, yes, you have someone that you're like, oh, I care about them, but it seems like they don't care about you.
Yeah.
It seems like you've expressed, multiple times that, hey, I need things too. I would have a conversation with him and be like, hey, before you buy yourself something, I think, you need to prioritize money into all these things. You need to step up and, your actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you deserve better, OP. And you, at this point, you shouldn't care if, it's his life. He's an adult. He can take care of himself.
Exactly.
He's not your child,
Right.
the little baby boy. But we do have an update. I sat him down and asked him to use the paycheck he's getting on finding a new place to stay. He seemed a bit mad when I told him, which kind of made me feel better about the talk. He defended himself, saying the job he has now pays more than his old one. But I told him it isn't about that. It's about his lack of perception and support towards my dreams, and goals I have already voiced, and his willingness to take my support to achieve his. Thank you to the angel that worded that so well in the comments. The sad part is, I don't even think he's going to get that check. Almost positive the job he took is a reshipping scam. Oh gosh.
Mhm.
I hope he didn't lie about the rent money he had set back so he still has something to move out with. But I'm not his mom, and I'm done acting like it.
There you
Good.
go.
Also, to clear things up, I'm not looking for a bankroller, someone higher class, some rich, highly wanted person, anything like that. I just want stability, really, which I had by myself before he moved in, and I was an idiot to ever give that up. Lesson learned.
You had to learn it the hard way, but you did.
Yeah.
You got there. I refuse to move houses despite my boyfriend's demand.
You're not taking me anywhere.
I don't know how to start this. I, 27 female, have been with my fiance, 28 male, for 5 years. We've just recently saved enough for a deposit on a house, and he's found this cottage in the middle of nowhere, 2 hours away from where we currently live. The thing is, I already work an hour away. I'm a nursery practitioner, and I love my workplace. I've been there since I was 20, and I've worked my way up to a room lead position. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Nowhere House. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And OP says, living 3 hours away from my job would not be ideal, but my fiance won't budge on this house. He says it's perfect within our budget and quirky enough to fit our tastes in home style. I've tried to communicate with him about this issue multiple times, bringing up the fact that there's not even any nurseries in that area that are looking for staff, and I don't want to find another job that's a bit further out, but start from the bottom again. He says it'll all work out if I just stop overthinking it. And I've been at my current job for so long that it would be nice for me to start fresh.
Why are you choosing that? That's up to her.
Yeah, I feel like just stop overthinking it. It's not
That's not how you plan life.
She's like bringing up really good points. Like,
yeah, she's like, where will I work? And he's like, oh, babe, you're overthinking
it'll work out.
Go
Like,
with the flow.
Yeah. Oh, man. Another issue is that I want children. They've always been a huge deal breaker for me, and I don't think it would be such a good idea to live so remotely when it comes to children, as we will have to get them to and from school or nursery before and after work every single day. The nearest school/nursery is a 30-minute drive away from the house that he wants, and we both start work fairly early and finish quite late. It will also be an issue of their freedom as they grow up, because I think it would be horrible to have to rely on your parents for transportation all the time and have to skip out on plans if they can't drive you. He really thinks I'm being dramatic about this, and I'll just figure it out. So am I the a-hole for not wanting to move so far away from my job and basically all civilization? Ask ChatGPT. There are some comments, but what do you think, Sophia?
No, I feel like you have, brought up some really good points of like your job.
Right.
And needing to be near your job.
Right. I mean, that stuff is like, very important when trying to find a place to live. Is like, okay, first of all, like, it doesn't even seem like OP wants to live somewhere remote just in general.
Yeah.
And then also, obviously, the long drive to work. And then when you have kids, like building a home there just doesn't seem like the right option for them. So, those are pretty big things to look for.
If your partner's not on board, then we got to find a new option.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta
you're both on board.
Right. But there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, not the a-hole. You two are not on the same page. You need to sort that out before you get married. Opie says, I am desperately trying to sort it out. I'm considering telling him that I will end the engagement if he continues to be unreasonable and doesn't consider my feelings on the matter. Comment number 2 says, not the a-hole. If you have joined the funds, immediately remove your contributions from the account and safeguard the money. He absolutely will use all of it to buy the cottage. His plan is to isolate you and keep you away from your network of people. OP says, luckily, I control our finances because I'm better with numbers, so I've already transferred my half of the savings into a different account. He won't even notice. He's usually very sweet and considerate, so I'm not sure what's got into him about this house. He loves my family, and we have the same friend group as we've known each other since high school, so I don't think he's trying to isolate me. Commenter number 3 says, is the house also 3 hours away from his workplace, or does he work from home? OP says he works in tech and he does go physically to work, but has the opportunity to work from home if he wants to. He says because it's worked out for him, it'll work out for me too, and I can just always find another job in a nursery. But I don't think he quite gets how difficult it is to find a genuinely good job in a great nursery that doesn't have a toxic environment and crazy high staff turnover. Someone else responds, and that's why he doesn't care about the remote location, because it does not affect him. You should think about that. Commenter number 4 says, who exactly is we who received the money for the deposit? Who did the money come from? If it came from somebody in his family, he's probably being very proprietary about how the money is spent. That isn't a partnership, and this kind of thinking will spill over into other areas of their life. If the money came from someone in your family, or if it is somehow attached to your career like a bonus, then he is a dictator who will force his ideas on you time and time again. Buying a house is a partnership. He will expect you to pay or help pay your portion of the mortgage and the upkeep, but you don't get to say in where the house is located. Is that what you want? Not the a-hole. Opie responds, we've been saving for a while. Nobody gave us any money. I was already saving before we got together, so was he. And after a couple years together, we decided to pool our house savings for our future, which I now realize was probably a really dumb idea because we aren't married. I've actually put more in than him despite earning less because I'm happy to live a frugal lifestyle while he likes holidays and expensive cars, etc. But there is an update, but what do you think about those points that were brought up?
It seems like you guys are pretty different.
Yeah.
At least in terms of lifestyles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there like a compromise? I don't think it's necessarily like break up level, but
Sure.
Like I if you can't find a compromise, that would be,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to move forward. But I feel like, is there a compromise that can be made between these two lifestyles?
Right. And hopefully there is. I mean, hopefully, while they've been dating, there's been some sort of compromise.
Yeah.
But, we can't really confirm that, unfortunately.
No.
But yeah, I think it's just a good conversation of all of your worries need to be in order. And part of that is like, no, you just keep saying that it'll work out.
Yeah.
Because this is a good option for you. But that's not how it works with my job. Yeah.
And just like really be clear about you, like the fact that you care about your career and you don't want to just like not have a career anymore.
Exactly.
And to have a career,
like
you
fair.
have to be in this place.
Exactly. But we do have an update. Fiance and I have been together 5 years, but I've known him for 12 years. And in all of the time I've known him, and especially since we got together, he's always been sweet, taken my feelings into consideration, and hasn't actively ignored my opinion like this. It's always been a 2 yes, 1 no situation in decisions before this. We had a good relationship otherwise. We had date nights once a fortnight. We enjoyed each other's company, had aligned plans for the future, and the same ideals for a relationship. He had watched me go through a few quite bad relationships over the years before we got together, and did his best to be the opposite of my exes. Though, he's always been quite pushy when it comes to intimacy, so I guess that's an issue. But other than that, it was great, and we had actually had a lot of talks about what we wanted in a house. We had agreed that we wanted a house or cottage either the same distance away or closer to my work, a bit more remote, but still with a town or city easily accessible by public transport or car. I'm not sure why he suddenly switched to wanting a house so far out from everything and everyone we both know. We live in the UK, and a 2-hour drive can basically have you in a whole nother world. Anyway, on to the actual update. I had annual leave.
Dude, that's why 30 minutes is so long for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I was wondering. I was like, 30 minutes is not like
I know,
that
everything is 30
crazy.
minutes away. Yeah. I had annual leave from work yesterday, and my now ex-fiance was having a work from home day.
Whoa, what?
Uh-oh. How
Okay,
did
I
we
guess
get
you
there?
guys couldn't compromise.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
The work from home day is something he's been doing more and more frequently as of late. This is another reason he is so okay with the house that he wants being where it is, because he can just switch to full-time work from home. In the morning, I sat down with him and tried to bring up the house. I laid out my points from my last post yet again and told him that I'm under no circumstances leaving my job. I love it and I do not want to search for another. I brought up the countless other houses that fit our criteria that are in our area and closer to my work, some of which we have viewed. We haven't viewed the place that he wants yet, as we haven't had time, and I told him that I do not want to, as I already know that it's not what I want. I also asked him if he really thinks it would be okay for me to have a 6-hour round commute every day, especially considering my shift starts at 8 a.m., so I would have to leave by 5 a.m. every morning and be up by around 4 a.m.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. My shifts typically finish at 5:30 p.m., so I wouldn't even be back home until 8:30.
You'd never see him.
Yeah, what? Would he be okay with doing all the childcare in the future, housework, and just everything that needed to be done because I would not be home for any of it? He didn't seem to take any of it to heart and still insisted that I could find another job, maybe one not even in childcare, and that's what finally pushed me over the edge. Childcare has been my dream since I was a little girl, and I managed to find an absolute dream of a workplace that I know many childcare practitioners would pass away to work for. How could I possibly leave that all behind when I've worked so hard for it? He told me that he's set on this house, so either I accept it or I leave.
Wow. Yeah, so I guess there was no compromise to be made
Not
here.
at all.
Why is he so set on the house?
I don't know.
Is there gold buried underneath the house?
Yeah, honestly, like, did he already buy it?
Yeah, he's like, ugh, so I got bad news for you.
Right.
The house is here,
Oh
so
my
you have to
gosh.
go.
No returns. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But you have to go to your favorite podcast app, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever you choose, and search OK Storytime, because you're going to find full episodes with more stories just like this one. There is a little bit more to the story, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess if you guys can't compromise, it's not going to work out. And it looks
No.
like you couldn't compromise.
Can't compromise. No.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I have to drive like an hour and a half to get here. And like, I was kind of hoping, I was glad that she clarified like what it was, like whether it was 3 hours round trip or 3 hours each way.
3 hours
And the fact that
each way.
Each way is crazy.
I mean, you never see her.
You get
Like,
tired
you
of the
would never
road.
see her.
Yeah, and then just what a like depressing lifestyle that might be for her. Of just being on the road
It's
for
just not gonna
6
work.
hours a day
Yeah.
after working like what was 5:30 to 8:30. So
I just can't believe that he's choosing this house over like this person he was about to
Yeah.
marry.
yeah, because then it's like, what is he gonna actually move there
Yeah.
now that he's like not with her? Like, then what? So now he doesn't get the
Now he has
house
to-
or her.
Oh yeah, now he has to pay for the house.
Yeah.
What?
That's crazy.
Alone.
So OP says, I chose to leave. I gave his ring back and told him that we're done, and that he's not being the sweet, considerate man I fell in love with, and I don't know why he can't see my side of things in this. I do not want to live a life with somebody that doesn't consider how I feel in all of this. This completely shocked him.
He literally said it's either me or the house.
Yeah. So
Or sorry, it's either you.
yeah, the house or you leave.
Yeah. So
Crazy. So he started begging me to rethink and that we can figure something out, but I refused and went to pack my things. I'm staying with my brother and his wife now, which is nice because they live closer to my workplace, a 30-minute drive instead of an hour. And I get to spend time with my little nieces. I'm hurting, but I also feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I do not deserve to have my opinion valued, and he certainly did not. I guess it's onwards and upwards, as they say, but I definitely won't be dating for a long time after this.
yeah, take a beat.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think,
I agree.
leaving any relationship, you need some time, but after
Especially
leaving
about to get like your
an engagement, yeah, that's
Yeah.
something you'll need to take time from. But
take a minute.
I'm glad that a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. I think that's very telling of maybe how other things felt in the relationship too,
Yeah.
without you realizing.
Yeah, absolutely.